Live, my good people. You know what time it is. You know who it be. This is Rob P. YRD TV in the place to be. We are on Facebook right now. We are on YouTube right now. It's going down. Realtors stand up. Realtors across the nation. What's really good? You know what time it is. It's Monday. It's 9 o'clock. And Mondays at 9 o'clock, that means that it's time for some YRD TV. So I say 9 o'clock because I'm in Ohio. We got some people that's Central Standard. We have some people that's Pacific Standard. But whatever the case, you know what time it is. So, we do this, but as much as we do this as real tips, there's still people out there that don't know who we are. So allow me to reintroduce us. Okay, this is the Young Realtors Division of NARAB. And what is NARAB? NARAB is an acronym for the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, which is the oldest and largest African American real estate trade association in the country, comprised of over 90 local chapters across 35 states. NARAB is the premier network of black real estate professionals. The Young Realtors Division of NARAB was founded in 1996 with the mission of redefining the real estate culture for tomorrow's leaders by empowering the youth and communities through wealth building, career exposure, mentorship, professional development, and leadership training. So with YRD TV, we are excited to have the opportunity to provide unique programming that will highlight and celebrate relevant information regarding information, policies, and real-life stories surrounding black real estate in the United States. And this is also an opportunity to show what the best of the best in our organization are doing, so we can pick up some keys, perhaps, pick up some tips that can help us be more efficient and effective in our lives and our practices. So if you're watching right now, do me a favor, comment. Let us know you in the building. Shout out to our president, Madam Tamisha Wells out of Houston. She's watching from YouTube right now. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. It's going down right now. If you like what you're seeing, do us a favor. If you really love us, share it. Because the more you share, the more people that we can get this message out to and the more lives that we can touch. So with that being said, I have the honor of bringing on our guest tonight, and she is a leader in this organization. She's what I like to call a silent assassin. She's someone that she leads by example. You put the ball in her court, she gets it done. She's an amazing woman. She's an even more amazing mother. Let's give it up for Madam Imani Breaux. Let's go. What's going on, Madam?
What's going on? Good evening.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got to give it up to you for you one time for the one time. Let's give you a round of applause. Yeah.
I need to do that.
You deserve it. So thank you for joining us for YRD TV. It's been a long time coming.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great, YRD. You've just been dropping a whole bunch of knowledge and letting people know it's a great platform. So just honored to now be a part of it.
Absolutely. So you were just telling me that you just made a move in your personal business to Mun Real Estate, which is one of our YRD members, soon to be president of the Oakland chapter, Randy Mun. Shout out to that guy. But absolutely. If you can, give us a little bit of background about your real estate career.
Yes, so thank you. So got into real estate 2016. And at that time, knew nothing about the Realtors organization, didn't know too much about real estate other than the fact that I know my family had acquired properties and multifamily properties when I was in high school, but still didn't really quite understand. But long story short, came in, again, been in since 2016 and have just grown with this Realtors organization. So when I came in, I was a part of the brokerage for past President Steve Peterson, and he was the president of our local chapter at that time. So I've grown up in real estate as I've grown up as a realtist in this organization. So I can't speak without one without speaking about the other.
That's a blessing because I too, my first real estate broker was a realtist, is a realtist. Mm-hmm. And I can't imagine joining this industry and not being a realtist.
Right.
Can you speak to what NARAB has done for your career starting off as a realtist?
Oh, yes. So there's a saying of our past President Ernest Clark, and it was the realtors will put you in places that you can't put yourself. And I've seen that so true for myself. As I mentioned, coming into real estate in 2016 and really learning and growing in the organization, I was in rooms with people and having conversations that I was not necessarily would have been privy to outside of being a part of the organization and spending time building rapport with, those in the local board. So just been an absolutely great experience.
I would agree with that. NARAB, it's a true saying. I don't know who started saying it, but it's almost like
So true.
it's a NARABism, but it's the truth. NARAB will definitely get your name in rooms that otherwise would be very difficult, get you at tables that otherwise would be very difficult.
That I would have had to spend a lot more time to get there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So in addition to your business, you're a mother.
Yes, I am. I am a mother of 4. And so my oldest, I can't really count her now. She's out the house. She's 19, but either way, still responsible. Mothering 4, but 3 in my household right now. And that's really, my key. That's my focus. That's my why, is really making sure that I am able to pour into them and all they want to be. So
Absolutely. So how does it work for you? So myself, I'm a father of 3. I have 3 daughters, 12, 7, and 6. And I think one of the beauties of being in real estate is that we have flexibility with our schedule, but at the same time, on the flip side of that, I'm always working. Now,
right.
Do I tell myself I'm going to turn my phone off or I'm not going to answer phone calls at a certain hour? Sometimes I tell myself that, but for the most part, we're always working. So with that being said, how do you balance that? Being a mother of 4 plus, building your real estate business, how do you do that?
So it's the process, but definitely learning just certain things that are important to implement. And so just routine for me, my morning routine is really, really important. So having that quiet time, not getting up when the kids are getting up, making sure that I'm up with ample time to, just quiet myself, work out, pray, and just really prepare myself, look over what I have going on for the day. So that's really, really what's helpful to me. And then making sure that I schedule time for myself, and put it on my calendar. And that's also something that I've learned after many years of getting it absolutely wrong. So, and really having to do some real evaluation on how I can really be effective in all areas.
So it starts with the routine. You start your day off the right way. That's the first step.
Key.
Sounds like there's some mindfulness that goes on there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, because once the kids wake up, it gets chaotic, right?
Every day. Exactly. So important to definitely just take out that time.
Do you find yourself in your business? Because I know in my business, if I have my daughters and I got to go show some houses, it's like y'all rolling. Are there times where your kids accompany you when it comes to business?
Oh, absolutely. And that's another key that I've really found out. How can I integrate them into my business as often as possible? Let me just not just make it where, okay, mama got to go. So have them come and take the time to explain things and explain what's going on to them. And, they're at that age where they act like they're not interested, but I know they're going to see the value someday of what I'm doing. So.
Well, I deal with that too. My oldest daughter is 12 and I've been licensed since 2014. So she was only 4 years old when I started. She's 12 now. She used to get excited to look at houses. And honestly, if we pull up and it's a nice house, she's going to say, hey, can I come? But if it's just a mid house, if it's average, she's like, eh. But, and I always keep my pulse on, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? And it used to be YouTuber and a real estate broker. So in my mind, if your backup plan is real estate broker, that's cool.
Exactly.
But now she says she wants to be an interior designer. So that's still in the real estate industry,
Okay. There we go. I see future collaborations, expansion with the family business.
Well, that's the goal. Right. That's the ultimate goal. Do any of your children express interest in going into real estate?
So not going into real estate. Now, I have spoken with my kids more about just the importance of investments finances. So just them understanding that, my 16-year-old has actually said, okay, I want my first place to be like a multi-family, because that's something I talk about often, because that's a goal of mine. And so the other one's not so much, but just still always dropping nuggets, in their ear whenever I can.
That's the key. I think that's what's most important is that they have that mindset of investment, that mindset of acquiring assets, and understanding the liberation and the freedom that comes in owning these assets.
Absolutely.
So it sounds like you're setting your kids up for success.
I do my best. As any parent, some days you feel like you do better than others, but nevertheless, when we talk about legacy and wealth building, that just starts with the example that we lead, not just in what we say, but in we practice. And again, the good days are bad days, but nevertheless, I'm really learning certain things to implement to help to combat just whatever happens, especially when you have a lot of children. Life is going to happen. So just
Absolutely.
that. Hmm.
Kind of got to roll with it because it comes. It's like a tide. It's high tide, low tide. But either way, you got to swim, right?
Oh, exactly, exactly. And to your point, and just in my planning, allowing things to happen, allowing life to happen. It's sometimes, putting the things that are most important at the top of my list, because sometimes things happen and I don't accomplish everything, but I accomplish things that are most important, and just give myself grace and get to it the next day and hop back on it and get
What
back on
you
it.
just said the key word. Give yourself grace because it's hard. It's hard to be perfect. It's really hard, and so you
Right.
couple that not just business, not just building business, not just raising a family, but you also serve, and you serve very deeply through NARAB. So what advice do you give to people? Would you get to people in your same situation that are juggling business, family, and service?
Right. When your heart's in the right place, it's a lot, but that it really keeps you going. And what fuels us is our passion, and it's really wanting to bridge the gap between our community and all the wealth building resources and helping them to build a legacy. So just really keeping that at the forefront really helps me to, keep a even feel about it.
Passion. Passion is the
Period.
key. Having your heart in the right place.
Hmm. Because it's going to be
Absolutely.
busy, but you always go back to that, and that's what's important. You always can go back and remind yourself, and then keep moving, because it does it is a lot serving and being a parent and running a business. But for all of those different areas, like, okay, it goes back to, what is my why? Why am I
What
here?
is the
What is
why?
driving? Yeah, and it's much bigger than sometimes the chaos that can ensue when you're serving, when you're trying to run a business, and when you're just living life and all the above. So
That's key. I mean, knowing your why, and like you said, what is bigger than the moment. It's like
hmm
we go through these moments, and these moments are just that they're moments. It's temporary, and this too shall pass.
exactly.
But if like you said, if the passion is there, if you know what you're building, if you have the vision, and you've seen progress,
Hmm.
you know, it passes. And like you said, sometimes we do have to give ourselves grace, and sometimes we have to give others grace as well.
Exactly.
And that's a big piece of it because NARAB is a volunteer organization. It is a volunteer organization. Nobody, I'm not getting paid. The leaders I know aren't getting paid. Nobody that I know is getting paid for serving in this organization. So, um, but I love it. I love this organization because this organization, if you ask me, it holds the key to the plight of black people in America, which is economic empowerment.
Hmm.
We do this on the ground level. Literally, we're helping families generationally build wealth
Right.
and liberate themselves and create security and stability.
Exactly. And it really is a labor of love. Labor requires work, but when you do it from a place of love, then you're just able to continue and keep it moving. So, absolutely.
Absolutely. So I have one more question for you, and I'm sure you can break it down because you've been holding it down for a little minute now. What does YRD mean to you?
Yes. So I know it means redefining the real estate culture for tomorrow's leaders, but it's really bridging that gap. NARAP is a wonderful organization, and it being over now 75 years old, there is a gap, right? And we see this in a lot of organizations where, there is a gap between the generations. And while the history of NARAP is nevertheless very deep and strong, and it's the foundation for everything that we build on. The reality is that a lot of our youngsters now don't know about NARAB. And so YRD is really that bridge between the generations of the past and who is in leadership now. And we are out there, serving our community, being an example in how we're running our businesses, and building a network and building family and communities.
That's a beautiful thing to see it transpire. So, I mean, shout out to the whole leadership board that we have. We appreciate your service, Madam Secretary. You got anything else for the people before we get up out of here?
Yes. So I'm really proud that we here in Oakland, California have been working tirelessly as a committee to get our chapter going. And so stay tuned. We have a lot of great things going on under the leadership of my broker, Randy Munmun with Munmun Real Estate. So just stay tuned and make sure that you follow us when we get our all of our social media together, and I'll make sure that we get a link so that way you all can see what we're doing in the town.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm just waiting for a reason to come to Oakland. I'm trying to pull up.
Okay. So we have plenty.
I'm trying to pull up. I just need a good reason. Well, hey, with that being said, I'll be in California in San Diego. San Diego's not Oakland.
Close. It's close.
It's close?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to see. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing the growth out in Oakland with YRD. Because honestly, I look at you all in California, it's very inspiring how y'all get down, especially with the challenges that you deal with in your specific market out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And to see you all surviving despite that, I mean, that's not easy.
Not at all. Not at all. But to your point, we heart's in the right place. We out here serving, it comes back even bigger and better than we could imagine. So
100%. All right. Well, Madam Imani, we appreciate you. I'm going to let you get back to handle it, holding it down for them babies. It's
so
about,
much.
well, I'm about to say it's 9:18 here on East Coast time. Okay. It's probably dinner time over there, huh?
It is, but they already have fed them early.
There it is.
I knew I was going to be on here. Didn't want any interruptions.
I heard that. Well, hey, I appreciate you, and I'll be seeing you soon. You soon.
Exactly. In less than a month.
Less than a month. It's going down. February 23rd. I'm touching down. It's going down.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. All right. We appreciate you all. Have a good night.